I'll show you. It's been getting wet in there, I think. It's not good. It's like a 6 or a 6.5 millimeter hex wrench. This hub nut is more like a clamp, so you gotta undo that. Something clean to put it on. Very fine thread, so it takes a little while to come off. So now, put your fingers in here and hold the outer bearing in so it doesn't fall out onto the ground. The inner bearing will stay in. The grease is all white because it got some moisture mixed in with it. Interesting. First of all, just gonna clean all this stuff up. Yeah, I mean, I drove this car hard through like winters and snow, salt, rainstorms across Pennsylvania many times. So to get these seals out, I just use a interior trim tool. This one's a real heavy duty one made by Ampro. You can also take a screwdriver and destroy the edge of the seal to get it to So here is the inner bearing. Okay, so I have everything ready to repack the bearings and put them into the hub. Actually, no, I don't. I need to get out the bearing race so I can put in the new bearing. God. Well, here's how you knock out a bearing race. There's a notch there, and at the end of the notch, you can see the end of the bearing. Like that. You just put a screwdriver there, hit both sides evenly until it comes off. You might have a little metal shavings coming off of the hub or whatever if you're not careful enough, like myself. Obviously clean that out before you put this all back together. Clean it up in there. You might even want to use some brake clean to spray it out. And fresh towel, clean it up again. Let the brake clean dry. Time to put in the new race, which comes with the new bearing. It's right here. So I'm using a 38 millimeter socket that fits over the diameter of the bearing race. And switch to the 36 because it's a little smaller, and that actually fits in there better. It won't get stuck. When the race is all the way seated, you'll be able to feel the hammer start bouncing more, as that race movement is no longer there to absorb the impact. Now you can clean that out again, make sure it's clean. So now we're going to pack the bearings. You want to do the back inner bearing first. All you do is put the bearing on there. put the top cone on. So you stick the grease gun on there. Then you start pumping. Unscrew it. Just put some clean gloves on. Just grab the bearing off of there. And I like to spread the new grease on the outside. Spread some grease in the hub. You just drop the bearing in there. Now take some more of this fresh grease, put it in there. Now the seal can go in, and that will hold this rear bearing in while you do the front bearing, the outer bearing. Seal, little grease on there. Comes powdered. I don't know if that means anything, but seal just goes in there like that. Not crooked. It's got to go straight. Okay. I've never pressed a seal in with my fingers before, but you could also use a socket and tap it in lightly with a hammer. I like to use a lot of grease in there, probably too much, but whatever. There it is, ready to go back on. So to put the hub on, it's pretty straightforward. Put your thumbs there so the front bearing doesn't fall out. I don't know why I keep calling it front, it's the outer bearing. I like to put some grease onto the spindle. The seal is going to spin around on that area right there. It should have some lubrication on there. Press it on. Add the washer. Now you can thread on your clamp nut. The flat side goes in. The cast side, there's no machining on this side. This side goes out. Now the way you tighten this is you get some channel locks or something and tighten it as far as it will go, and then back it off a quarter turn. I gotta go to there. Just made an X with my fingers, kind of simple. And then take a flathead and try and move this washer. If you can move it without leveraging on anything, then you have properly torqued the nut. If you can't move it, redo the whole thing. See how it moves? Of course, then verify that the hub doesn't wobble and spins nicely. And if all that is good, you can tighten the Allen key, the Allen nut, the Allen bolt. Oh God. Moved it a little bit, that's alright. If you've moved it, just re-verify. Not really sure how tight this has to be, but I just tighten it until it stops turning. I like to just put a little more grease in there. And the grease cap can go on. And that's how you do the hub. Now you can put your new rotor on. Before installing the new rotor, clean it off. There's a coating of oil from the factory. You only need to clean the surface that the pads touch. And then the CRC makes this cool stuff called de-squeak. It's actually a coating for the rotors, and it prevents the brakes from squeaking. Just let the rotor dry for a minute. It's supposed to be a light coating, that's probably too much. But oh well. Then on the brake pads, use some disc brake quiet. I'll let that cure while I reinstall the rotor. Before I put the caliper back on, I'm going to add some CRC ceramic brake system grease. There aren't any slide pins on this caliper, obviously, because it's one piece, but you still want to lubricate the surfaces. I should probably clean these calipers up better, but so I just take the caliper grease on my finger. I just spread it on like that. Now this caliper can go on. I don't use the rotor screws. You can if you want to. I'm not even bothering with those. So now this is on. This gets torqued to 63 foot-pounds on those bolts back there. And you can put the pads in. Come on. Probably shouldn't have to hammer them in, but that's why I said I should have cleaned these a little more, but the pad is still loose in there once it's all the way in. So now this can get closed up. And that's done. That.